go back and watch your game against Buffalo?
Well, parts of it for sure. That's
What did
all.
you
That's
take
all
away
part
from
of
it?
preparation. Uh, well, it's pieces of preparation, right? It's looking at what they do well. Some of the areas that they're very very efficient in. It's a good reminder. As well as some of the things that gave us success. So, that's what we're really looking for when we do that. And mostly it's about where we're at in the present time. But some of those pieces are valuable too, just for reminders for tonight.
Where do you think you're at this present time?
Playing good hockey, we got to go back and continue doing what we're doing. We're pretty much like everybody around the league. It's a busy schedule. We're obviously in the midst of a challenging road trip here, so good opportunity tonight to go out and play well and work for the 2 points.
Your special teams have looked very good the last couple of weeks. How much of that is just getting an opportunity to practice them more as opposed to the start of the year, and how much of it is the guys
Yeah,
feeding
on
off each other?
on both sides, some of that chemistry is really important. Just systematically getting pieces down, whether it's on the PK or on the power play. It's important to be able to go out there and play fast without too much thought process, but still have that, have the comfortability where you know what your line mates are doing, what your teammates are doing on the ice. That's a part of it. The other piece, as you get to this point of the year, is just it's about execution, right? And being able to go out and execute at an important time. The other night. Didn't have a lot of success on that first power play. Had a couple of looks, but we'd gone up and down the ice a couple times, but we stayed with it, and we ended up scoring a big goal in that game.
Dave, the power play often gets the attention because it's an opportunity to score, but the penalty kill has been quite strong. What are the secrets going into those units for you systematically and also chemistry and player-wise?
Well, in terms of the PK, like our units are growing, and again, we're starting to see some of the chemistry come together. It matters. When the D pair, are familiar with each other. It matters when the two forwards are working together and on the same page. A lot of it is, a systematic, feel, but also you're reading off of the people you're on the ice with a little bit as well. And in order to do that and to do it, and be able to play fast, you have to have some of that chemistry. So, we still have work to do. We feel we can still grow on both sides, on the power play as well as on the PK. But we've seen good signs. We're going to be challenged tonight. This is a good power play. They have two units that are pretty good, that are efficient. So we'll be challenged on the PK side for sure.
Chris Drever was the first guy off the ice today, so I assume that means he's starting tonight.
Yeah, he'll go tonight.
I'm just wondering what you like about that. Are you trying to just build off the success he had?
Yeah, he had a good night, a real competitive night 2 nights ago, and like I said, we need both our goaltenders. We need both Driegs and Gruby going as we go through this busy stretch. So he's coming off of a good night, and we look forward to him going back and giving us a similar performance tonight.
Does it feel like there might be a bit of a hole missing without Gio on that power play unit?
That's always part of it, right? Injuries and people not being available. So he's a huge part of our power play. That being said, Dunner stepped up the other night and did a good job. We have both Seuss and Fleury that can play on either one of the two units. So that's part of it. When somebody's not available, somebody else has to step up and do the job.
David, didn't look like there were any other lineup changes from last game. Is that correct, or will it be changes?
Well, same personnel. We may have a couple of changes in terms of combinations, but same personnel.
You mentioned this with the goaltenders, but obviously when Morgan gets in last game, how important is that element of this feeling of competition, of guys fighting to hold a place or get back into the lineup? What does that bring?
It's twofold. The element of competition is always good. And teammates support each other in that competition. That's very very important. But also just the confidence of knowing that there's depth at each of those positions. Again, as I spoke to, injuries and different things with COVID that everybody's going through. As we go through this year, that depth is very very important. So Will went in. He played well for us. He had a real competitive game. Some things for him to clean up, and as he goes into game 2. But he did a good job, and he'll get the opportunity to play in this building tonight.
Do you ever have like a special message for any of the guys when they're playing their former teams? Is it just kind of, I mean, it's part of doing business as an expansion?
Well, no, it's, I mean, it's, you know, it's something we've talked, we don't talk about it every day, but I mean, there's, obviously we have a lot of guys that are experiencing it this year. You know, and the biggest thing is you want, I mean, you know, as a teammate, you want your teammate to, you know, have a good result coming out of that. But it's not something that we necessarily speak to day in and day out, but we've touched on it.
It's almost every day.
Yeah.
You guys won, it was about 2/3 of your face-offs against Florida. I'm just wondering what goes into making a successful, a center successful at taking face-offs?
Yeah, you know, we were particularly, you know, we had particularly good success, you know, in Florida, and it's a huge factor, especially, you know, if you think about it on a back-to-back. If we, you know, we were able to start with the puck 70% of the time, that means we don't have to go get it back, those, you know, during those opportunities. So, you know, our competitiveness was very good, and that's, you know, that starts with our centermen for sure, because they're the one that are, you know, they're in the battle. But, you know, also wingers being ready and jumping in and helping out on 50-50 pucks. We did a better job of that. So it's an area of focus for us in terms of, you know, trying to grow in that area and just continually improve. And, you know, we had a real good night 2 nights ago. Now, you know, again, every night is real competitive in there, and it'll be a big piece of tonight's game as well.
We see centers practicing face-offs, but to your point, wingers are such a huge part of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are there drills or places where you work on that part, the support from the winger and practice on a face-off?
Well, we try to, you know, get to it and touch on it, you know, as often as we can. But as I said, you know, it's not, that's probably not something you're typically going to practice in a morning skate. And that's, you know, that's been our opportunity here over the last week. So, you know, our Paul, you know, he touches on it with the centermen in terms of preparing them each and every night for the guys that they're going to face, and then it's obviously part of our meetings and you know, some of the areas that we talk about and prepare for. Good. All right. Thank you.